What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. Now, although we haven't covered one here at the channel in a while, there have been a ton of Black Widow full plot leaks and post-credit scene leaks, especially in the months leading up to that original release date back in April. And although there were a couple of points of contention, a couple of different reports as far as the post-credit scenes were concerned, this most recent full plot leak and post-credit scene leak that's making its way around the internet and all the normal subreddits seems to tie them together and give us the definitive answer on what's going on in the film. We're going to read through the plot leak, break it down, and of course issue the normal spoiler warning. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we're giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros as well as a whole slew of other Marvel related stuff, including this insane 1/4 scale Beta Ray Bill, as well as our 3rd Infinity Saga limited edition box set. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So first things first, the normal spoiler warning, as is custom at this channel for leaks of the anonymous kind. Remember to take anything that doesn't come directly from Marvel Studios with a grain of salt, as well as leaks like this that originate on 4chan. Twofold: one, guys, stay off that site. It's not a safe site. Much safer to source it off of subreddit a couple of days later or YouTube channels like mine. And because of the unverifiable nature of these sources when they're anonymous, even though we tell you to take it with a grain of salt, it's been these leaks in the past that have been the most detailed and right on the money. So keeping that in mind, if this is in any way going to ruin your Marvel Phase 4 or Black Widow experience, if any of this ends up becoming right, then you might want to back out now. Otherwise, let's jump right in with what has a quick precursor or prologue of their own, explaining why they've even seen Black Widow in the first place, break down the entire plot synopsis, and of course the post-credit scenes. And I've left a timestamp down below in the pinned comment to let you know where to jump to if you want to jump over the plot leak and jump straight to the post-credit leaks. It starts with a quick explainer from the author before they get to the details. He writes, "Disney is in a real tizzy trying to figure out what to do with Mulan and Black Widow with all these COVID delays. They've been showing the movie to all sorts of different teams to see what the best way to recoup their investment is. My marketing team was one. I feel safe sharing this because of the sheer amount of people in the industry I know have seen the movie." The movie opens up with RDJ's voice over a time card, setting up it's right at the end of Civil War. He tells Nat she needs to run because they're going to come after her the hardest due to her past. She gets on a motorcycle and drives away from the Avengers facility, and we get the Marvel logo. The next scene is a flashback to young Nat. She's talking with young Yelena in a hallway. She's been asked to kill a diplomat or something, and she's unsure if she can do it. She tries, but she can't bring herself to pull the trigger. She goes out into the hallway and cries. A woman leading the Red Room leads Yelena in, and through the opaque glass door, we see her shoot the man without a thought. Back in the present past when the movie is set, Nat ends up going to Budapest. She's looking for something to make her, Cap, and Sam untraceable. There's a voice cameo of Anthony Mackie as she relays info to him. She knows that Yelena can find it because the Red Room used to use it for the widows. She tracks her down to her apartment. They fight, the second best scene in the movie, he says. Then once they know they aren't going to kill each other, they have a beer. They talk about guilt. They talk about their bond. Yelena tells Nat she can't give her the thing because the Red Room still has it. Dreykov has started a new program and has started training new widows. Another flashback shows slightly older Nat, de-aged Scarjo, escaping the Red Room program. It's run by Ray Winstone, and he's got his daughter with him who isn't part of the program, probably like 7 or 8 years old. She does a bunch of spy stuff to escape, but she gets caught by Dreykov. She says something about always being taught to shoot first and tries to kill him, but he attacks her and she somehow shoots something that makes the hallway explode, seemingly killing Dreykov and his young daughter who was hiding behind him. Nat survives by jumping out a window into a river. Her underwater face transitions to her in a bath in Yelena's apartment. They have beef over the fact that she left and abandoned her crew and never came back. Suddenly, though, they're attacked by Taskmaster and his goons. Someone doesn't want them talking. He trounces both of them easily, but they escape. They decide they need to find out what's up with Taskmaster as well as end the Red Room program for good. They travel to the Swiss Alps to find Melina, who was the older widow who was matronly to them. She's retired, living in a quiet life, and is happy to see them. She knows that the Red Room is active and that the new widows are being trained by a mysterious mercenary called Taskmaster. His ability to memorize the fighting styles of others makes him invulnerable to the program. She reluctantly agrees to help them take down both Taskmaster and the Red Room, but they all concede that they'll need help. We see Taskmaster in a command center. He's watching footage of Nat fight from the movies we've already seen. He's also watching footage of Yelena. Dreykov's voice over an intercom gives orders to the widows to let him teach. He takes on several widows at once and easily wins. Dreykov tells them to do better. Meanwhile, in Siberia, we get the most fun sequence in the movie. Nat, Yelena, and Melina do one of the full fun spy movie Charlie Angel style prison breaks to get out Alexei, their big brother father figure, out of a Russian state prison. They succeed. Family reunion scene in the cabin that you've all been seeing in the trailers. They go back to the old Red Room facility that's been long abandoned, but they can't find much. We get another flashback. I honestly don't remember much of it, just generic young teen spy frustration from Nat and Melina giving her advice. Young Yelena is jealous of their bond. Melina hacks the old computer that's got a list of the programs and safe houses on it. They head to the most likely one, trying to find Dreykov. Taskmaster is secretly watching them. While crossing a border, they are captured by CIA agent Rick Mason. Nat and him used to have a romantic relationship. He reveals he's working for Thunderbolt Ross directly to bring them back home. Ross and Widow make a deal that if Mason accompanies them the whole way and she turns herself in after, they'll be allowed to continue shutting down the Red Room. We see a flashback of younger Ross and younger Nat making a similar deal when she's recruited into S.H.I.E.L.D. Ross wanted her for his own reasons, but says something like, Fury always gets what he wants ever since he saved the world from aliens or whatever. Man, that really doesn't sound like Thunderbolt Ross. I'm butchering it, but Hurt's delivery of it was maybe the best joke in the entire movie. Hey, there you go, a quick explainer right after I was about to say that. Doesn't sound like Ross's dialogue at all. They go to the safe house, it's empty, big obvious trap. Explosion separates them all. Giant fight scene, chase scene, where Taskmaster shoots at them with a bow and an arrow. He uses all of the MCU's greatest hits in this movie. Nat escapes on her own and goes to her bridge where they plan to rendezvous, but Taskmaster's waiting for her. Coolest fight scene in the entire movie happens here, really shows off his gimmick. She actually gets a hit in that slightly cracks his helmet and he jumps off the bridge. Shortly after, Yelena appears, then Mason, then Melina, then Alexei. Mason and Nat tend to each other's wounds at the campsite. They kiss. Nat pulls away and says she doesn't have the best of luck with men. My last boyfriend flew away into space or something, obviously referring to Bruce Banner. Mason agrees, saying his last girlfriend literally shot him in the head, showing her his scar. They seemingly hook up. The next morning, as they prepare to leave, Taskmaster attacks. He seemingly kills Mason with his sword. Nat is devastated, but Yelena makes her leave with them. Melina was scouting ahead in the city and comes back and comforts her, telling her the story of how she used to have a husband, a daughter who died. Nat is shocked to learn that she had a child, and Melina says that the sterilization procedure didn't work on her and that she had to hide the fact that she was pregnant by faking that she was a prisoner of war, saying, "We all do crazy things for our family." This leads to a big finale in the mountains you've all seen in the trailer. Black Widow's, Taskmaster, his goons, the Red Guardian, all duking it out. There's some kind of bioweapon that's actually going to be launched as part of the Red Room's new mission. It's a really sudden MacGuffin that no one I watched the movie with was paying attention enough to know where it came from, but there was probably some exposition dump that explained it that my brain glossed over. Anyway, huge set piece, skydiving from exploding crane. Taskmaster and Red Guardian have a pretty decent fight. Taskmaster kills him in front of Yelena, Melina, and Nat. Melina holds him off while Nat and Yelena fight their way inside to where they think Dreykov is. Turns out he isn't. It's just a computer that's been changing the voice of someone to sound like Dreykov. You guessed it, it's Melina. Her and Dreykov were in love, and they had a daughter together. Nat killed both of them. We see lots of flashbacks during this. Taskmaster is revealed to be Mason. He tells Nat she trusts too easy, and he works for the highest bidder. Melina is pissed he killed Alexei, but he justifies it by saying he was in the way of his target. Melina wore the suit when Mason was killed. The four of them fight. Melina escapes to suit up in a pretty sick armor that's obviously the Iron Maiden. They are surrounded by Widows and Taskmaster, and he's won, but then Nat and Yelena give a speech, and the Widows decide to team up. They overwhelm Taskmaster by attacking him all at once. Nat and Yelena using each other's moves, something else set up in a flashback, to confuse him. They finally have him beaten and on his knees, but Nat won't kill him because of their past. Yelena doesn't hesitate and shoots him through the crack in his mask. She tells Nat to go ahead, but Nat's bleeding and her suit is cut open, so Yelena gives her her vest and says she'll see her on the other side. Nat and Melina have a one-on-one showdown. Nat is overpowered by the advancements of her suit, but remembering the training Melina herself gave her, outsmarts her and uses her widow bite to short out the system. Nat also says that killing Dreykov's daughter has haunted her for 20 years, that she never meant for it to happen. She gives Melina a chance to forgive her, but she doesn't, and Nat has to push her off a ledge, falling to her death. Post-resolution was a scene where Nat and Yelena meet up. They hug goodbye. Nat tries to give the vest back, but Yelena says she doesn't want it because Nat got her stink all over it, then smiles and says it looks better on you anyway. Yelena feels bad that the whole family fell apart or died, but Nat says that this made her realize that she already has a family worth dying for in the Avengers. She offers Yelena to come with her, but Yelena says saving the world isn't her thing. Nat points out that they just did it. Yelena smiles and says, well, that was a one-off, and then rides off. Last shot of the movie is Nat realizing that Yelena stole the impossible-to-track gadget from her and then hugged her goodbye, smiling to herself. And here are the post-credit scenes. Post-credit 1 is Yelena walking into a dark warehouse. A bunch of soldiers point guns at her. She casually walks up and throws something on the table. It's a device sitting at that table. Is Thunderbolt Ross. Taskmaster is there, and Yelena gets pissed, saying that he killed her friend, and that wasn't part of the deal. He takes off his helmet to reveal a bandage and points out that she returned the favor by shooting him in the head. She points out that it's not the first time she's done that. She says to Ross, I think that relieves me of our deal, and Ross responds, oh no, we're just getting started. The final credit scene is of Clint looking at Natasha's grave with his kids. Now guys, that's the entirety of this leak. Obviously, a lot more to say about the plot leak than the post-credit scene, and there are things in here that make sense, but the truth remains, we've had so many plot leaks again and post-credit scene leaks before now that if you wanted to write a fresh one just based on those details changing something, you could. So only time will tell, but let me know all your thoughts down below on the post-credit scenes and the plot leak. If there's any bit of this that sort of struck you the wrong way, I think there were enough double turns in this movie to satisfy what I would call a Marvel quality spy movie, but who's to say whether this is real or not, and only time will tell. Maybe sooner than later, if not on the big screen at the end of this year, we'll be seeing this in our homes on video on demand. We'll see, guys. Let me know all your thoughts down below, and quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're still giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, the next of which is at the 700,000 subscriber mark. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video. That'll automatically enter you to win all the rest of the prizes here at the channel, like this 1/4 scale Insane XM Studios Beta Ray Bill. In no way an action figure. This thing is an immaculately sculpted museum quality statue, as well as our 3rd Infinity Saga box set. These were limited in production to 4,000 in pre-order, and since they've been sold out last year, they have absolutely skyrocketed exponentially on the secondary market. If you want to be entered to win either of the PlayStations, the limited edition Beta Ray Bill, or this Infinity Saga box set we'll give away at the end of the year, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button, then the notification bell with notifications turned on, leave a like and a comment on this video, and because it's truly random, the more videos you like and comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, just like we're doing here, and if you've missed any of the previous winner announcements, no worries. All you have to do is scroll back through the channel, look for the winner announcement and the sub count in the title, click on that video and scroll to the end. My name is Michael Roman, this is Everything Always. Guys, thanks so much for checking out the channel, and stick around, we'll be posting again real soon.